basically, we have completed our discussion for tension members. I was supposed to include the build-up section for tension members, but since it was limited at the time, I have decided to include it along in the compression members. But before we are going to solve for our compression members, we have to be aware also of the some of the principles and theories behind our design for compression, especially for steel. Okay, so let's visit again our NACP, and at section 505 we will have these visions in our for computing our design of our compression members. Okay, so still the same. We have your LRFD and we have your ESD. Okay, and if you notice the resistance factor are the same. So we have 0.9 for LRFD and 1.67 for ESD. But as for the slenderness ratio, your tension is N over R, and then that should not be greater than 300. But for compression members, that's only limited up to 200. And that will be dependent on how your compression member will be connected. So that's why we have this K here. So that this will tell you, or the value of this will depend on the type of connection that your compression members will have. Okay, and it's the same. No, we have your PN sa tension. It's PN FY AG. No? But for compression, it's now FCR. So that's the F critical actually. No? And we have some different equations for that for you to be familiarized again. And of course, you will memorize. So we will have more of this in our combinations. Okay, just to have a feel or an idea of what we're going to do with this. We have some limitations here, no? And then we're going to understand this in a while. Why it's like this, no? Why it's like less than, so it's greater than. And we have several equations for your FCR. So, like ang FCR, if your slenderness ratio is less than this one, dahil po ng FCR if this is the condition. So again, no, your FCR will be used in the computation of the nominal strength of your compression members. Okay. We also have our FE. We're going to use that parameter in a while. So by definition, your compression members are those structural elements that are subjected only to axial compressive forces. Okay. Now there's a bit of bending there, but it's significant. It's insignificant for us to say that it's actually just an axial compressive member. Okay. The loads are applied along the longitudinal axis through the centroid, and I'm sure you're very familiar with this equation. You have your stress is equals to force over area. Okay. And you have to understand as well that for any compression member or for any compression member, especially for a column, the centricity of the loads are inevitable. It will always be there. This is a very ideal condition, okay, in which your force will pass through the centroidal axis of your member. It's very theoretical, no? But sometimes in our computations, to simplify the solutions, we just have to neglect the eccentricity if it's very, very small. But however, if it's already big, or it has a significant effect to your structure, we will no longer ignore it. No? Because if your P here, if your applied force is acting here, what will happen is that this force here will have a moment R, no? And this will create an internal moment, and then this will cause your beam, I mean your column to bend that way. No, that's yung bantayan if naatay eccentricity to our loading. Okay, so in that way we say that it's concentrically loaded if the force is applied to the directly applied to the central. And then it's eccentrically loaded if there's some eccentricities with respect to the central axis. Okay, and just to have another visualization, this with in terms of the various axes. Okay, so of course, it will depend on the connection, but sometimes your eccentricity should be somewhere here or even here. It depends on the axis. Okay. So for your compression members, you have your common types. Of course, your columns. These are the prime example for members experiencing compression. Okay, and as I said earlier, it can be subjected also to bending, and that's because of the eccentricity and other lateral loads that might experience. You also have your trusses, okay, and then your bracing systems. Way back in your C15, so you resolve. Indeterminate man eh. Saan yun natin ang indeterminate? Saan ito? Approximate analysis. Dahil kung saan lang ito kung approximate. Cut section dito. Saan ito? Hindi nyo naman yung balik kung ano. Dua man to, no? Kung niwang kayo ang members, so slender, no? So ang compression is 0, ang tension is may value. Kung large ako, lagi na kayo po sa C15, no? Because iba na and I'm going to make sure ngayon na gamitin mo yung go back to the computation. So for columns in rigid frames, there are calculable bending moments and axial frames. So rigid frames mali, no? So kini siya malimutan mali. Tawag niya? Portal or cantilever. So at least hindi na siya mawala sa inyong kinabuhi. So unfortunately, we were not able to perform the exact analysis. Account tayo ito, moment distribution, slope deflection for frames, unfortunately, wala niya nalapas. Ayaw mo katingala sa board exam na kung ano na sa board exam. Okay. So, since compression money, idoon na ito itong members, there will be some buckling that will happen to your compression. Okay, and we will categorize that into two types. You have your general buckling and your local buckling. Okay? For general buckling, the entirety of your compression member will buckle. When you say buckle, you have your from a straight o sa araw. Will do like that because of the compression forces. But when you say local, it's only a portion of your compression member will experience some buckling. So in this case, it's only the flange of this W section will buckle due to the compression forces. general buckling, we have three types now. And we will be solving this, we will be investigating this one by one in our succeeding examples. So for flexural buckling, your member nodes will be subjected to bending only. So you have that. And then for torsional buckling, we have your member will be twisted. But tulad saya, maybe because hina kayo yung web, so what happened is twisted siya. And in some cases, your compression member will experience both bending and twisting. So it's what you call your flexural torsional buckling. Again, your compression member will bend and twist at the same time. Dungang ginasa. So we have here our so another figure for your flexural, torsional, and local flange buckling. So here, although the web is not been distorted, but your flanges have been compromised. So sama na siya sa actual, so wala na nakatanggalon niya siya. Except na siguro kung madala ang hangyo, riyani, mayroon kita actually, so ipapikpi na lang ang sinyo. Because gamay naman you can still repair that one. Pero finish siya, isa wala na kita. That one you have to replace if ever you will encounter that one also. Okay, so other forms, as they say, I'll just different example. So still you have your local buckling here, and then for compression members, it's also possible squashing effect of your compression member. So although it's very rare, but sometimes it happens. The buckling of the flange will be bulging. Okay, so hindi siya mo bend, but rather mo bulge. That's the squashing effect of your. So, but the most common, of course, is the flexural. So, when we compute, when we design, these two, and its combination are the three things that we need to be aware of in our design. So, tingnan nyo sa tension, it's okay. Sa tension, what we are after is ang yielding, ang rupture, and ang lock shear. But for compression, what we're after is the flexural, the torsional, and the combination of these two, flexural, torsional, buckling. So we have three tests also for compression members, like your tension members na natulungan. Okay. But unlike your tension, medyo mugo rato siya mga equations, kini sila medyo tag-as na siya, equations. But I believe you can memorize those things. Okay, so we have here our Fe is equals to pi squared E over your slenderness ratio squared. Okay. So asa na ikan, so we will try to understand this. Now, we will not derive using differential equations because I myself don't have differential equations. We will try lang to understand how it was done or how this equation came into being, because this is really important in our computation for the PN as a PN, PN, FCR, times your gross area. Okay? So we now go to the Coulomb theorem. So for very long and slender elements or compression members, if a load is being applied, si P, a load is applied, Of course, di man na siya diretso mo buckle. But if you put increments to that, you make the loads larger and larger, it will come to a point in which gamay na lang yun, gamay na lang yun imong iduot, buckle na dayon ang inyong column or inyong compression. And that force, no, kanang force na magpa-buckle sa inyong compression member is what you call your critical buckling load. Okay? So, if an incremental value P is applied, it will ultimately become very large and it will cause debuckling. Okay? And that again, no, that amount of P is your critical buckling load, and this is described by this equation by Euler. It's the critical, no, critical siya, CR, critical load is pi squared EI over L squared, and this is only valid, no, for within the proportional limit, no, or within the elastic range of our stress strain diagram. So, ano na po tayo yung stress strain diagram? Ang konsumahan mo niya. Okay. So, elastic man, so this is your Fy here. So, like capital is letter na siya kung steel, small letter kung RC, no? It's the same. So this is your yield point, and the buckling load, no, is only valid until this region. So this is your elastic range. This will be force focus load. So it's here, no? That remember is elastic, and its ends must be equal to rotate. No, meaning nakapin, no? Nakapin connection na siya. Because when you fix the connection, it will have some effect also. So it should in a while. Okay? But yes, no, it was Euler way back in 1753 who developed this equation, and this is called critical buckling load, but this is also called the Euler load or the Euler buckling load. Okay? So how did we do that? Okay, so kung may TikTok ang tumatay, experiments at kung set stick siguro, and then yan lang ipahigda, no? Lang ipahigda because it's easier to set up something like this kung naka-higda. Okay, so but of course it will behave the same way as your column. So as I've said earlier, is a condition is that it should that the ends must be free to rotate. Okay, so of course na pin and roller wala man siya moment resistance for rotate. And then you will apply, Euler will apply loads to that, and then follow napagig paman sa iba na siya mo buckle. Okay pa na siya, but little more push, and then it will bend, and then that's your again your Euler critical load. And he approximated, of course, no, that this one is the deflection, and you have your deflection y here, and then of course no, at distance relative, no, in this case it is a left so okay. And we already know from our C15 that our deflection is given in that equation. Padumdum mo mga? Okay, ayan. So, muwa na siya nung atong gagamitan sa tubular integration, moment area, yung favorite, yung conjugate pin, so muwa na. So, dire man niya tubular. So, okay? So, it was actually bending, no? Bending the equation. Okay? And you have your deflection. Okay? So, a couple of differential equations, and then I'm sorry again, not ako expert of differential equations. Naman to expert direct ano to siya. Ano to siya. Hindi ba explain mo ni differential? Kailangan kag-math lang. So naman ni sila yung mga roots, di ba? No, kana siya no. Then makuha mo din. And then pag makuha mo din siya, you have some boundary conditions to consider, no? You have your boundary conditions to consider, and then it has something to do with sine, cosine, no? So if this is your xy axis, so yun ang sine yan, ano to, no? Ano to? Ano siya, and then there's a loop here, so di na ako kaya siya explain, no? But I want just to emphasize na na yung looping, no? Because of the sign ng mga boundary, no? Is that of sign, okay? So it's here, no? Nangalalay 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, sige na siya, kung circle ni siya, patulog pa mo, ramang ni, saan siya? Asa kaya pi? This is 0, kaya pi, no? Balikda, ini? Ini? 2 pi na, di ba? Pag magulong ka? 0 mas yun eh.
0 o 2 pi at the same time.
0 o 2 pi at the same time. Ini? So something like that. No? Something, hindi na po dulo. Kamu nga rin dulo. Hindi mo ni magawag sa kung paano ato exam yung kumalong check. So, this, what I want to emphasize there is there's a looping, no? And then it's a function of the pi. In such a way that you have your n here. Ato naman i-simplify. No? So your n here is 0, 1, 2, 3. And again, no, that would correspond to the rotation of that. Okay, so dinatama para visually good. And actually, no, there's an equation here on how it was solved. Nadumduman niyo, yun sa solve. Explain it. Makabalo. Para din siya i-screenshot na nag-delete niya. So, tama na siya din. Kumana ito, equation for curvature, di ba? And then, hindi siya nasa mali. Parang i-transpose dito. And then M is ano? Pero mag-delete na ito. We know that M is force over distance, no? Or perpendicular distance. But we could also write it in a way na P siya times the eccentricity, no? Eccentricity. Yeah, so in this case, no Y lang siya, no? But it's actually the eccentricity, Y. And then solving this, hindi mo ng K, K is the square root of what? So, dito rin ko balunod si math behind the na siya. But it will eventually go into the solution of roots. So, okay. And then you have there your boundary equations. Okay. Kini yata, no, it would yield this equation here. Kadugduman ba? It is differential. So, may pagka-explain. Tapos sa last na differential equations. Sakto ba? Kini, no? It would yield this one equation. Okay? So, bonus, siguro na yung bonus ni sa manong exam na kung ma-solve. Okay? So, if you're going to set kung cosine 0, for 0, something, and then you will, no, kung sine 0, it's 0, no? So, you will have 0 equals A, and then substitute na bahala ka dyan. So, matulog yapon ka sa n. So, what's the emphasis of that? So, the emphasis really for that n is how your columns would be paved, no? So, if subjected to compression forces, okay? So ito lang, no? If line force, of course, it's straight. But if line force, it will bend this way. And if it bends this way, this is actually n equals 1. No? So 1 yung ibang substitute. Okay? And in some cases, no, you will have some restraints here, no? So siya gamay din, and then you will have this bending here. So one bending, and then the second bending, so that's your n equals to that 2 really equals to there. Then so on, no? Binibring. Goes 1, 2, 3, and so on again. but in the derivation of Euler, he just used the general equation ng causal assumption movement. Okay? And that's when this is where this equation was derived. So you have this equation here, and this is the one adopted in our LECP. No? So in our LECP, it's now pi squared E over the square root of your slenderness ratio. So again, nalay mga substitution gamay. Okay, so I man siya is still the in terms of the EI dito sa curvature. Okay, and then some substitution there. I again is your R, nakantay R and E. Okay, so R squared is equals to I over 8. Okay, square root of I over 8. So to have R, para ma-express na to siya in R, we're just going to use I equals 8 times R squared. So putting that there, divide. So you will have your slenderness ratio, because we are after with the slenderness ratio of our compression member, because it's this ability of your compression member to buckle, and it's really important for a compression member, because we don't want our columns to have buckling effect. Okay? So simplifying that equation, so there we have our equation for our from our LECP. It's actually this one. Okay, this one. So FE lang ang iyan equality din, but it's actually the same. Okay. And yes, this is also important, because this equation here is again valid if it's just under the or within the elastic region of your stress strain diagram. However, if it's beyond the elastic, of course, your material will experience failure beyond the elastic range. This equation will no longer be valid. Will no longer be valid. So that's why this guy here, the Bright friends. Okay, so he developed equation in which the Euler buckling could still be used even if the stresses are beyond the elastic region, or basically elastic region. And somewhere along this, so this is the stress strain diagram if it's medyo strong and steel. So somewhere here, develops a tangent line, and this tangent line here is same yan po, opposite lang yan slope. Somewhere along this line is a boundary between your elastic buckling and your inelastic buckling. So for elastic buckling, it's long column. Of course, kay mga tag-as man yun na ang dali kay mo bend for compression. But if it's short, pag grabe na katako ng stress niya yung mixer. So di pagyapon kayo lang siya bend na lang siya yung squashing effect. It's actually it's actually under the inelastic region, or the plastic region. And this boundary here is very important, so for us to determine what should be the critical load or critical stress our column is experiencing. Okay, so to convert lang this graph here. So we have here, so this one is from Euler, okay, curve here. And then this one is from user. And then an intersection there somewhere, and it's going to project that intersection. This will now separate the inelastic buckling and the elastic buckling. Okay, so this region here is your 4.71 square root of E over Fy in your NC. Again, very inelastic buckling, that's for the long column, and inelastic buckling for short column. Although our NECP is no longer naming that as short and long column, but rather it's elastic and inelastic. And the boundary for that is your 4.71 square root of E over Fy. So, mo din ito ganina, ako nakita ganina. So, you have your slenderness ratio. If it's less than or greater than this value, mo na yun ang boundary. So, your critical M will be defined as this. So, as ang naging concern, so we will not derive that, derive na siya dito sa EISC. Okay, and it was eventually adopted by our NECP. So, it says that it's 0.65, 0.658 to the Fy over Fe times your square root of your yield stress, the grade of your steel. Okay? If it's greater than this value here, it should be 0.877 of the Fe. So, ganing si Fe, only ganina si Euler critical load. It's defined with this equation of I squared P divided by the square of your slenderness ratio. Slenderness na siya because L over R. Not like K, again, because this will dictate kung yung saan mo siya pag-connect. Kung pin ba both sides, in which mo pag na-derive ni Euler, pin ang both sides. Pwede po na siya pin ang isa, fixed ang isa. Pwede po na siya fixed ang duha. No? So it will depend, or fixed baka ang bottom, and then free, walay connection, walay support ang isa ka end. So pwede po na siya. So it will depend here no? So that K here no, is your effective length factor. So actually, this has been called as CC. In the previous codes, in NECP 2010 and 2001, that has been called CC. But for 2015, there's no name. So we'll just be calling that as 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Ganaan mo, yun na natawag CC. Pero, disclaimer lang, the NECP 2015 is no longer using the term. Okay? But of course, mas sayang man pawagod siya na CC. No? There's a CC mentioned that 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Okay? So, we've been mentioning K, so that's actually your effective length factor. And again, it's a function of how your member is being connected, your compression member is being connected. So in this case, naman eh. So nag-bend. Okay, in this way. So asa man is siya ron? Where? 1, 2, wala na siya. 0.5? 0.5? So, bend naman siya, no? Okay, so we have to distinguish that. So, let's start with the pin-pin connection. Okay, derivan ni Euler from the Euler critical load. Okay, so it's here, no? It's here. Pin, and then we're going to push that. Okay, so relax. And then the theoretical K for that is 1. And then when you do this sign sometime, when you practice your profession someday, you might want to use the recommended design value K. So, but for now, in our course here in STM we decide we will be using the theoretical value. So that's one here, no, for the pin. Okay? So, lahipod nga case kung naka-fix. Okay? Fix, that is 0.5. So again, no, if you recall yung deflection sa C15, okay, so fix man eh. So, dapat na siya straight gamay, no? Kaya pa rin siya mo likod. Allen, go back straight. Okay? So that's 0.5. The value of your P is 0.5. Okay? And then, so I forgot to bring my ruler. Shout out to shading minsan na may ruler. Ito, balik-balik. Shout out na mag-respect na yun, no? Atong balion. Ganyan, no? So, very good. Okay, so assuming no, this is your column, no? So, steel, okay? So, kung pin lang, so it's just going to hold it like this. So, pag ito itulot, of course, no, it will bend that way. So, siya, no? And it has similar value. In this case, no, according to the caption of this photo, this is from the ground floor, pero there are 6 stories above it. So obviously, no, based on the way it's bending, it's a pin connection. So nakapin lang na siya nakapin lang na siya. So there are detailings actually on how to produce a pin connection. So ay mga construction methodologies of that we will have discussed that. Okay. So for the fix, okay, so fix, kung nilita ni fix, you're going to push that no, para ma-compress siya. What will happen is, again, no, straight niya, kaya mo bend, and then straight. So, it the same like that. No? So, straight niya. Of course, no, medyo liwang na yung kaniyang older, so that's why you have a very little amount of straight area there. Okay? So, kung gumita ng puti mo, and then ang isa is nakapin, okay? So what will happen is that nalay siya straight to Noidra, and then this way will blend freely, no? So it should be like that lang. So, and then of course, no, kung nila, nalay nang nagpagtulot, it's different also. And this one of free end, and so it will have different values. No? So you have 0.5 for this one, fixed, and then for fixed pin, it's 0.7, and then 1 for pin. So what we're going to use all of the time, or most of the time, are these three, no? Pin, you have your pin fix, and then your fixed connection. So tala yung memorize. 5, 7, and then 1. Okay, you know, it will not really use this much anymore. But in case you will have some counter using this one, that's actually 2. Okay? Okay, so here we are. We're going back to the provisions from our code, and now you're going to evaluate your compression number based on the slenderness ratio, multiplied by its effective length factor. Then we're going to identify if it's inelastic or elastic. Okay, so you have here your point equations. And what else? Some things. Yeah. Okay, so questions so far. Tomorrow we will discuss this now because nakatay tayo na late lang to. So tomorrow we're going to discuss have some sample computations with regards to your compression numbers. Okay, so at least na-discuss ka lang the concept.